Let's take a look at creating submission schemas. Once we're logged in as an administrator, we can access the management interface. Online registration allows you to manage multiple schemas, since we expect you to have multiple editions of your forms to collect different data from different people. For example, your elementary registration form might differ from your high school registration form. You may also want to maintain similar schemas but in different languages. A schema must be built, validated, and published before parents can start creating submissions. When we select a schema for editing, we see a preview of the form just like parents will see it. We can edit the schema by clicking directly on the interface. Let's update some labels. The interface automatically saves all of your changes as you work. Each field also has an optional help text property that'll help the user as they fill in the fields. We can also change the sort order or position of each field by clicking the up and down arrows. And if there's a field we don't want, we can remove it. Each field and group of fields has a key. The key is very important because it determines how we're going to save data. It's also what we use to determine where to put the data in your SIS, so it's very important to configure it correctly. Let's add another field to this group. There's multiple kinds of fields that we can add to capture different kinds of data. Let's use the single selection list to allow the user to pick from a list of available values and submit that. We can change the label, and we can choose the content of the list by clicking the List Options button. The content of the list can be configured using comma-separated values. For each row that we enter here, we'll get one option in the list. The first value will be the label that's displayed to the user, and the second one will be what's saved to the database when the user selects that option. We can also select a third optional value of default, which will cause this option to be selected when the user opens this form. When we're done editing, we can hit the Validate button to find potential sources of problems. A common issue is missing keys, so we'll be sure to fix that. The last thing we need to do before we can publish is to select a workflow, which we're going to talk about in this next section.